Today we're going to do just kind of a short explanation on shoulder turn. We've often heard, and you'll hear this 1,000, a million times over, turn your shoulders, rotate, all of those sort of things that we need to do to make the body get back in the swing and forward in the swing. So the common expression is turn your shoulders. Well, if you think about it, it's not as simple as it sounds. If somebody said turn your shoulders, you'd turn your shoulders. You wouldn't think too much about it. But sometimes in golf we try to do things in a different way. So we try to go up and down, we try to go around. None of them are really explaining how the shoulders function. So if you think about your arm, hand, forearm, bicep, shoulder, kind of in different pieces. My hand has a wrist connector, there's an elbow connector, and then there's a shoulder connector. So I have 3 different focal points within that one piece, and the idea is to try to make all of that arm one inclusive piece that works together, as opposed to a hand or a forearm trying to move my golf swing. I need this club to be able to move with an entire arm, with my shoulders. So a lot of times you'll see a common mistake. People will try and do this, so they get real handsy and try to move the club really quick with their hands, or they try to do it with their hand forearm, just lifting it up this way. So normal would be to take the club as one piece with your arm and the golf club looking like it's one entire line from your shoulder to the ground. That's the way your shoulder or your arm has to move. We haven't even used the shoulder yet. So if you think about, this, I can do this, I can do this, my shoulders don't go anywhere. This can move this way, it can move this way, but the shoulder hasn't really moved anywhere. It's all just attached to the shoulder. And because the shoulders are on the side of my body, when I set up to the ball and I want to move my shoulders or move my swing from this particular, with this triangle, if I want to move that, physically, I have to move my shoulders. But the shoulders don't go up and down this way. They go a little bit more laterally. So I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there. The key part is, if the shoulders are going to move, it means that this entire torso has to make or help them move. The shoulders can't go on their own. All they can do is this. But in order for me to turn, I have to physically turn my entire torso. A student once said to me, you mean, when I used to talk about shoulders at that time, and she says, you mean turn your chest? And I says, yeah, you want to turn your chest. And it actually struck me as that was maybe a better term to use to describe how you want to get your shoulders to turn. More important to turn your chest, which would turn your shoulders. But then the more I thought about that, the more I realized that you can't just turn your shoulders and chest. That's kind of working from here up. So I don't want to just try and turn those. In order to turn my entire chest and my shoulders in the golf swing, I have to turn from my hips or from my sternum, kind of from here in the back, where your back goes into your pelvis, I have to be able to turn all of that in order to make my shoulders create what we would think of as a 90-degree turn. Now I can't do that unless I'm using all of this and I'm turning on my sternum from here. So this would be the focal point or pivot of where I want my swing to turn from. So in order to get my shoulders to turn to 90 degrees in the backswing and wherever they're going to go in the follow through, I have to be able to turn this entire piece of my body 90 degrees this way or close to it. If you can't make 90, or if you can make more than 90, that's better. And then similarly, the same process over here where we're turning that whole body. So if we can take that one step further, if we're going to turn our entire torso, this torso can't turn unless the pelvis is also turning. So just to be able to do this means this piece, the pelvis, the sternum, have to be able to turn or rotate. And if that turns, then this leg also has to turn and the feet have to move to allow it to turn. If I don't move my feet and I just try and turn my torso, that's what I get. I get this kind of a turn. So that's not very much. So now I'm going to turn my torso, but I also have to turn my hip, so that allows my upper thigh to turn against my knee. So the entire body has to physically rotate or turn to help you turn to get in the backswing. Not just move your shoulder. So if I just said move your shoulder, everybody would be trying to do this. So the key part is, remember that you're focused on turning your shoulders with your chest, with your torso, with your hips, with your legs, with your feet. You cannot turn the shoulders without all of that. Now, if we go sideways and we look at this turn, lots of people you'll see will try and go down in the backswing or they want to really go down in the follow through. Just think, if I went straight up and I just stood here and turned, my swing would look like that, this club would look like that. Okay, and I can put that out here, it wouldn't matter, that would be where it would go. But we're at a dress, so we're always at a tilt. So for my shoulders are always going to be at an angle. So if I go into the backswing, my right one will be down, my left one will be up. I didn't push it there. I didn't try and make it go there. It just goes there. And similarly, if I want to go back the other way, we can just kind of duplicate that motion. And now I'll make my left one go down and my right one go up. I don't push them there. They just go there naturally based on your setup at a dress. So you go here, and then you're going to go here. So these shoulders are physically still going this way, but because we're tilted or bent over, they feel like they go down in the backswing, just as they feel like they go down in the forward swing. And they do. I can't do anything else with them other than that. If I tried to keep them level and I'm in this position, I'd go this way. And then I'd reverse the motion and go this way. But we don't swing like that because it's not very effective. So here we're really just trying to take your back shoulder and replace it with your right shoulder. So I'm going to take this back shoulder, I'm going to push it over here. I'm going to push it there and make my right shoulder go there. So now I've got that 90-degree turn. But again, I've had to use all of my chest, my hips, my knees, and my feet, so I gotta allow myself to get into that position. So a simple exercise to get into position, you gotta take your club here, just turn into your backswing. Don't have to reach over here and do anything, just stay in the same position and just turn your body. And just let your body turn naturally. Your feet, knee, hip wants to move, let it move. And let your chest move. Push your arm out. And there's kind of 80% of your backswing already done. Okay? Simple drill. Put your leg in the correct position. Okay, put your arms in the correct position. You've got a good swing into the back. You got your hands now back by your back shoulder, so it's fairly wide and deep. Now all you have to do is let your body reverse itself, turn over here, or you could do this, turn here, and you'll be in the same position as you were back there. So that's what you're trying to do in your golf swing. So the shoulders attached to the arm, if these are going to move correctly, you have to move these. If you're going to move these, then you have to move the body. It can't stay static or stationary or stuck in the ground with your feet.